after a win like that, you often talk about your culture. Mm-hmm. And when you think about the culture you built, does that stem from year one, 18 years? Mm-hmm. Or is there a time when you sort of recalibrated, because you're winning in ways now you weren't winning when you were winning big 10 years ago?
Yeah, so the the core of it, the basic principles have stayed the same. And as I've gone through this a lot of years, I learned I didn't really know. I just accidentally never changed the core, and then made tons of mistakes and then corrected them. And then we developed a culture that takes a long time to instill in the players. And it's even a little more tricky nowadays because social media has changed the perception of everybody, all of us in this room and everybody in that building, and the way people see people and the way people see themselves and so on and so forth. And for that, we have to make more adjustments. But I have been very fortunate that most of the people that are in that building with me have been with me a long time. And so this thing runs itself. The culture runs itself. I don't really do much anymore. I just kind of stay out of the way and try to govern the main people. And there's not any way in the world we could have won that game if we didn't have that culture that we have here. Because in most cases, when you're looking out there at the personnel we use at times, they're going to panic. The coaches panic, then players panic because they look out there and they're like, okay, you have 2 on the field, you have 3 on the field, you have 6 on the field. You have 6 on the field on both sides of the ball. We have guys on the field that shouldn't even be lining up and playing, much less against Texas. And so the coaches do a good job of the one thing I ask them to do: be patient, have poise, and teach and coach and correct. I don't like screamers. I don't like yellers. I don't like guys that are running out of control. You know, your veins are popping out of your head, because then the kids panic. That's the only thing I ask them to do, and they do a good job. I don't do anything in the games. I just stay away from everybody and let them do their jobs. If they ask me to go for it on 4th down, I usually say no. If every once in a while I say yes, that pretty much wraps it up for me.
Derek said when he got here, he found a blue-collar mentality that he didn't necessarily know about from the outside. Mm-hmm. Really, you had some blue-collar elements in 2011, but you also had a lot of fireworks and all kinds of
NFL
stuff.
players.
Have you sort of built upon the blue-collar attitude and stuff, and are you more proud of what you're accomplishing now because of that?
I went back and looked at some games from 9, 10, 11, 12, even up until the Chelf year. I think 15 or something. 13. What year? 13. I went back a week or so ago and looked at some of those games and just watched us, and we were much more blue collar then. We were tough. We would knock you on your ass, and we'd get up and do it again, and we were physical. Now, we weren't as effective throwing the ball, except when Whedon was here. Those other years, we were very average passing the ball, but we were tough. And then we got that back again the Chelf years when we were rushing the ball and we were tough, the JW years. We're not that physically tough now, but we're a different style of offense. But it's not like we're soft, but we have to get that edge back in this offense in order for us to continue to be that way. And we're working at it. We've just had some inconsistency up front health-wise, and then a little bit on the perimeter that's kept us from getting back to where we really need to be, where we're really blue-collar and physically tough, which we can be in the style of offense we have. And then what that'll do, Barry, is that forces the defense to be tough, because then they're going to get their butt kicked in practice if they don't toughen up. That's ultimately what the goal is, in my opinion, because it's still a tough man's game. The toughest teams, mentally or physically, if things are equal, usually win in most cases in this game.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.